Animation Nation Shorts begins tonight with the first children's animation to truly cross over to an adult audience. It showcases the brilliantly original storytelling of Eric Thompson.
Zebedee asked Mr. Rusty how he was feeling. I'm feeling a little hot, said Mr. Rusty. It's always hot. Oh, I think I can probably do something about that, if I put my mind to it, said Zebedee, thoughtfully. Hello, said Florence. I'm putting my mind to something, said Zebedee. Oh dear, said Florence. And in the garden, everything was suddenly covered with ice. Ice, said Ermintrude. It's the new ice age, said Brian. We shall all be frozen in our beds. Look at my lettuce. And look at these carrots, said Ermintrude. Someone has been tampering, said Brian. Everyone found it very difficult to understand. Even Dylan found it difficult to sleep. We shall have to imitate, said Brian, to warmer climes. But I like it here. Dylan woke up. Why am I feeling like cold? He said. Wake up, said Dougal. The Ice Age is upon us. We must form a master plan for survival. Well, I hardly think it's that drastic, dear, said Ermintrude. Not drastic? Everything covered in ice? We must all eat as much as we can and hibernate. Oh, I've always wanted to hibernate, said Brian. Dougal rushed around, eating everything he could find. You have to eat a lot to hibernate, he said. You have to store up body fat. Body fat? Said Brian. In order to survive, said Dougal, through the Ice Age. It's a well-known fact. Oh! Now, look here, said the train. I don't know how you expect me to keep to schedule with ice all over the place. It's not on, you know. Things are difficult enough. Oh, stop complaining, said Dougal. You'll be all right, great iron thing. Suddenly, Dougal felt very peculiar. It was all the things he'd been eating. He wasn't used to eating lettuce, especially frozen lettuce. And he certainly wasn't used to eating carrots. I don't feel very well, he said. In fact, I feel very peculiar indeed. I shall hibernate in my bed. Florence arrived. Wake me in 3 months, said Dougal. 3 months, said Florence, aghast. Zebedee arrived. Dougal's not very well, said Florence. I'm not surprised, said Zebedee. I think you'd better make it warm again, said Florence. So Zebedee made it warm again. That's better. I do my best. Why has it suddenly gone hot? Said Dougal. Phew, it's boiling. I can't hibernate in this weather. I'd be a laughing stock. And what are you laughing about, madam? Nothing, said Florence. I just wanted to say something to you, that's all. Don't say it, said Dougal. Don't say it. I eat too much. Too much sugar. I know. Ugh.
Our next classic children's animation is Oliver Postgate and Peter Firmin's The Pogles. First broadcast in 1965, this episode, King of the Fairies, was one of several deemed too scary for a children's audience by BBC commissioners.
The Pogles. I'm worried about the Pogles, bolted and barred into their house. Well, it looks peaceful enough, doesn't it? Very quiet. Hello? What's that? Look, what on earth is it? An old boot, walking along by itself.
Open up there in the name of the law.
In the name of the law? What's this?
Sounds like it's the police or something.
Well, don't be daft. There aren't any police in the wood. Nothing like that. Police is for people, not Pogles.
Come on, open up there, Mr. and Mrs. Pogle. You've got things in there that don't belong to you. Open up now.
It's you! You are a bloated witch, and we shan't let you in whatsoever you pretend to be.
Open up there.
We shan't let you in.
I'm afraid I have no alternative but to break down the door.
There now. You might have saved me all that trouble by opening the door in the first place.
You're a horrible thieving hag, and you won't get anything from us. Not whatever you do to us.
Be silent, woman! Now, I have been delayed for long enough by you two creatures. Now you are going to tell me what I want to know.
Old woman, old witch, old hag of the night, old bag of stick bones, you shall have nothing from us to hurt that baby. You shan't be told where we've hid its crown because we don't care what you do to us. You can turn us into anything you want or destroy the pair of us, the wife and I, but you won't never have that crown. So you can get yourself off out of here now before I come and break you in splinters with my two hands.
Then destroyed you shall be. I believe you, Pogle. And in the mud at the end of the world you shall crawl to the lasting of my spite.
Here, Pogo, look at the bird. 'Tis getting the crown from its place.
That's it. That's the crown. I want it.
Ah, witch. Ah, bird. This is a crown I'm wearing. I feel it has power. I know why you wanted this crown, you hag, and now you shan't have it. Come on. Turn me into a garden snail. Come on, hag, a garden snail.
A garden snail. A slimy slitherer, wet-footed leaf crawler, curly house in the mud, I call you.
Oh, witch, you can't do naught. Stand still. Now. What shall I do with her, wife? Turn around, witch.
I don't rightly know, Pogo. Can you turn her into something like she's turned others into in her time? Something, I don't know.
The trouble is, that don't seem to stop her. She's been a jug of milk and an old boot and a bonfire, and she just turns herself back into herself again.
Well, it looks like there's nothing.
That's it. Nothing. Witch, hag of the night, dream creeper. Be no thing at all. Be nothing.
She's gone then. Do you reckon that's got rid of her?
Oh, wife, I don't know. I hope so. It's the best I could think of. Here, I must take this crown off. It don't belong to me, and I don't fancy wearing it. There's too much magic in it for my liking. Here, bird, you better have it, I reckon. You know more about it than I do.
Pogle, I thank you. And you, Mrs. Pogle, I thank you for so many things.
for caring for my child in your house, for loving him and feeding him, most of all for loving him.
Oh, you're welcome, sir.
Excuse us, but who are you, sir? A king, a small king. My people are the fairies, and my land is fairyland. And, well, is this your son? Yes, my son, my heir, the inheritor of all my powers and all my worries. Pogles, we are forever in your debt. While there are fairies in the world, they shall help you and save you in all things.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you, I'm sure, sire, your majesty. But we haven't done naught but what anybody else would have done.
But what you did was enough, Pogles. Well, it wasn't me did it. It was the crown that bird, you, sir, put on my head. Don't you believe it, Pogle. The crown may have helped a bit, that's all. By the way, that was a stroke of genius, turning her into a nothing. I was afraid you wouldn't think of it.
Is she gone for good, then?
For good and bad, for ever and ever, she is finished. But there are others, Pogles.
Oh, Pogle, we're forgetting the plant. Oh, King, our plant. The plant that gave us wishes and bottles of milk for your baby. There's something nasty happened to it. Oh, come and look at it, your majesty, like. It's not at all well.
No, Mrs. Pogle, that plant is hungry. The way to its roots is stopped. Look at the gold band, sir. But don't touch it, your majesty, it burns. Witch's gold. The gift that burns. That is her work, all right. But now the magic should be gone. I will touch it. Yes, cold. Cold as gold and thin, thin as paper. See, it comes away. But the plant, sir, the plant, will it be all right? It needs nourishment. But I see this is no ordinary plant. What does it feed on? Well, it fancies bilberry wine. Seemed to do it a power of good. Fairies! Fairies! Hear me call. Hear your king. A cask of bilberry wine. Best bilberry wine, with all your magic, little fairies. With all your silly, twittering, gossiping, idiot magic. All together in one go. Wish it here to us. Now. All right, don't mow us down. Stop the thing. Broach it, Pogle. Is it good? It is good, your majesty. Feed the plant. Bilberry wine. Oh, bilberry wine, my favorite. Bilberry wine. That's better. Where have I been? Asleep? Asleep in witch's gold, old bean of the stars, I greet you. Old king of fairyland! How fares your son? He is safe in Pogle's hands, and Pogle has turned the Hag of Night into a nothing. That was well done, Pogle. So all is well. So all is well, plant. All well, Pogles. All well, fairies. Let us be merry. Plant, a dance.
Animation Nation Shorts continues with another chance to see The Balloon, Ken Lidster's BAFTA-winning 1991 film made when he was still at the National Film and Television School. It uses a mix of different media to follow the adventures of one girl's favourite balloon, captured and tortured by a sinister modern-day child catcher.
기사. Oh. Shazam! Oh. Ha ha ha!
When British animation pioneer Bob Godfrey was asked to make a children's series in the early 1970s, the result was the surreal and anarchic Rhubarb and Custard. This is the very first episode, when Rhubarb made a spike.
Rhubarb lived in a house with a very sunny garden, with trees and bees and bone holes and things that sniffed good and things that bounced, and he enjoyed the way things were. For most of his life, Rhubarb had been eating chairs and shoes and holes in carpets and even the trees. But try as he might, he couldn't eat the rubber bands. All the birds in the garden ate rubber bands, but every time Rhubarb went out to ask them how they found them, they would just jump into the sky and float about. As Rhubarb watched from behind the curtains up at the house, a big fat crow with a big yellow spike plucked a big fat rubber band right out of the ground. Not 3 paws from where he was hiding. "They're spikes," grinned Rhubarb. "They stick their spikes into the ground and pull out the rubber bands. Now, why didn't you think of that?" "Oh, because you haven't got a spike. The next thing to being a bird," Rhubarb mumbled on in a knowing sort of way, "is being able to float about in the sky. And to find out how they do that, you'll have to get very close to one indeed." Now, what gets close to birds? 6.5 weary hours later, still disguised as a huge piece of bread, the birds began to bounce very close to him. "This is it," chuckled Rhubarb. "My crummy plan is working." And he lay still as still can be. "Aha! So that's how they bounce. This is fantastic. How clever you are." As all the birds bounced around, Rhubarb was able to see that they had very thin, flat arms, and that they would flap them with fury whenever they wanted to jump into the sky and float about. Rhubarb shook off his disguise as he decided the whole idea of being a piece of bread had gone a bit stale. "Oh, you're so funny," he said to himself as all the birds bounced up into the tree. Light shone from the only window in the shed as Rhubarb was working on Mark I of a machine on which he'd pinned all his hopes of ever getting at the rubber bands. As the sun came up over the conker tree, the oddest, doggiest character stood in the shed doorway, and then very slowly he trundled out into the center of the lawn. All the early birds came into the garden and sat in Rhubarb's tree and squeaked with excitement at the new strange sight. As Rhubarb reached the shade, he stood for a while, as all great dogs do before embarking up the wrong tree. Climbing gingerly into the seat of the swing, Rhubarb checked all his equipment.
"Flaps, spike, springs, all okay."
Quietly at first, Rhubarb started to make the noise of the holiday jets that fly over the garden on sunny days, the sound he'd perfected during the night. As the sound got louder, he gently lifted his legs off the ground.
"Springs up! We have lift off!"
shouted Rhubarb in a muffled tone from under his huge yellow spike.
"This is a great step for dog kind."
And as the wind whistled past his eyes and his little arms flapped with fury, Rhubarb felt himself being lifted higher and higher into the world beyond the 4 paws of dog. Rhubarb was so excited that he was the first dog ever to enter into flight that he forgot to flap his cardboard wings. And so with the piercing scream of a jet changing into the screaming pierce of a dog, he plunged towards the garden, and his big yellow spike plonked into the green turf and into rubber band land. An hour later, poor Rhubarb was still furious as all the birds for miles about came bouncing along on their springs. And even Custard, the big fat cat from next door, came to laugh. Rhubarb was stuck. Birds have beaks, and Rhubarb had a spike. And a beak is a beak, and a spike is a spike.
Among the greatest of Britain's early TV animations, the simplicity of John Ryan's Captain Pugwash is matched only by the wit and skill of its storylines. Despite being made on a shoestring budget, it's as engaging today as it was 50 years ago.
All was quiet on board the Black Pig. The pirates had had their lunch and now it was time for their afternoon rest. And there they lay, stretched peacefully asleep on the deck. Captain Pugwash had been asleep all the morning anyway, and now he was leaning happily over the side, fishing. Suddenly, he started to reel in his line excitedly. "No fish! No fish!" he cried. But Tom, the cabin boy who was watching, said, "No such luck, Captain. It's a bottle, just a dirty old bottle." And that is just what it was. "But it's no ordinary bottle," cried the captain. "Look, there's a letter inside." And to Tom's amazement, he pulled out a roll of paper with Captain Pugwash written on the outside. "Oh, listen to this," cried the captain. "Dear Captain, why don't you and me make friends? If we do, we could be the richest pirates on the 7 seas. Come to supper on my ship tonight and talk about it. Your old enemy, Cutthroat Jake." And the postscript says, "Come alone." Said Tom, "Don't go, Captain. It's a trap." Oh, fiddlesticks," said the captain. "This is one of the proudest moments of my life. And see, there is Jake's ship waiting for me." And he forgot that Cutthroat Jake was his worst enemy and began thinking excitedly about the party. "Come," he said, "I will put on my finest clothes. Only the best will do for my old friend Jake." The sun was setting as the small boat left the Black Pig. And, little knowing what was in store for him, Captain Pugwash was rowed over to Jake's ship. Up on their own deck, Jake's fearful crew grinned wickedly as they watched the captain getting nearer. And Jake himself rubbed his hands with fiendish glee. He muttered into his great black beard. "We'll have some sport when he arrives. Hey, me hearties." And soon the captain did arrive. He had a bit of trouble getting his legs, and he soared up the ladder, but in the end he made it and arrived on the deck with a smart salute for his kind host. Welcome to my humble ship," said Cutthroat Jake, and he shook Pugwash by the hand so hard that he began to wish Jake wasn't quite such a good friend. "Now, come down to me cabin and see what your old pal Jake has prepared for you." So they went down together. And Captain Pugwash opened his eyes in amazement at the splendor of Cutthroat Jake's cabin. Never had he seen such a magnificent collection of loot, so many precious stones and rich fabrics. But Jake was already pouring out wine and chuckling to himself. "Come, Captain," he said, "a toast to our friendship. Drink that." "To our friendship," said Pugwash, raising his cup eagerly. And he sniffed the wine and sipped it and then drank it back in one great gulp. And only then did he realize that it tasted very queer indeed. Oh, poison, he thought. As in front of him, Jake's grinning face became more and more strange and blurred. Oh, a moment later, his cup fell from his hand, and he tumbled flat on his back, unconscious on the cabin floor. Now, back to the Black Pig. Tom, the cabin boy, was worried. "I don't like it," he thought. "I'd better swim over and see what's happening." So he slipped quietly over the side down a rope and into the sea. It was quite dark by now, but the moon was rising, and as Tom was a good swimmer, it wasn't very long before he reached Jake's ship. High up in the stern, he could see the lights burning in Jake's cabin. And Tom climbed up over the huge rudder and looked into the open window. And there was Cutthroat Jake, And there, beyond him in the candlelight, was Captain Pugwash, awake again, but trussed up like a chicken and looking very scared. Wow, growled Jake. A lively dinner party, I'm lonesome. You see that sack? I'm going to stuff you into it, and very soon my men will come and take it away and throw it in the sea with you inside. When Captain Pugwash saw the sack, he thought that his last hour had really arrived. But Tom had picked up a bottle, and quick as lightning, he brought it down as hard as he could on Jake's head and knocked him senseless. That's better, he said, and he jumped over the windowsill into the cabin. What a lot of rope, he said as he untied the captain. We'll use it on Jake. So they tied up Jake and put him in the sack and left him heaving and cursing in a corner. Now we'll go home, Captain, said Tom. And it wasn't very easy getting Captain Pugwash through the window, but in the end, Tom managed it. Oh! The captain started to sink like a stone. But Tom got hold of him and pulled him up very slowly and gently back to his own ship again, and heaved him dripping on a rope up to the deck. Poor Captain Pugwash, cold and wet, with all his fine clothes utterly ruined, he felt very miserable. But Tom took him down to his cabin and made him a strong cup of hot tea, and took off his soaking things and put him to bed. And very soon the captain was asleep, dreaming happily about his great victory over Cutthroat Jake. But little Tom went out on deck and played himself to sleep with his concertina.
When the Clangers first arrived on TV screens in 1969, they were described by one NASA scientist as an attempt to bring a note of realism to the fantasy of the space race. This episode was chosen for us specially by the Clangers' creator, Oliver Postgate.
This is the Earth, our planet, our home. It sails serenely through the vast emptiness of space, through the silent nothingness between the stars. But how silent is it? Silent to our ears, perhaps, but if we had ears that could hear the sound of radio waves, then the space between the stars would be far from silent. For all the radio messages in all the worlds are buzzing about in space, waiting to be picked up by the right sort of equipment. There, that thing the rocket man left on the Clangers' planet. Listen to the noise it's making. Listen. Something is coming. That thing is calling it. What's he doing? He's collecting rocks. What dull things to collect. Yes, they could give him something much better than rocks to collect. Of course, blue string pudding. No basket. Well, that's odd. It was there just now. Oh, there it is. Well, he's going, and he's taken the basket with him. I hope he likes blue string pudding. Yes, everybody likes blue string pudding. He didn't like it. He seems a bit puzzled. Ah, there's Tiny Clanger. He's running away. He's running away again. He's fallen in the soup. Oh dear, he's very soupy. That's better. Oh, there he goes. He keeps running away. He better not run too fast. Oh, dear. Yes, I thought he would. He has run himself into orbit. Yes, put him in his carriage. Yes, and don't forget that noisy thing. I wonder if he's all right. Yes, there he is, look. Goodbye. Come back soon, they shout. No, I don't think he'll be back soon. I don't think he really liked it here.
Our last animated short may be unsuitable for younger viewers. Oscar-nominated The Sandman by Paul Berry presents a terrifying yet completely childlike world as atmospheric and bewitching as any Brothers Grimm fairy story.